Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Reverend Sylvester Hampton, one man of God unfiltered. Welcome to my channel. Once again, it's wonderful to be here once with you. I thank you for being here with me. Today's lesson is going to be. I'm going to talk about a men's huddle. Men's huddle. I went to a men's huddle yesterday, last night in Orangeburg, South Carolina, and it was very enlightening. I'm going to explain to you what a men's huddle is. A men's huddle is kind of like a a group of men getting together and just hashing out and just talking amongst one another. It's when men get together and talk. It's just a men's only group that we talk and we exchange ideas and we just talk about anything under the sun, whatever on our heart. It is a unscriptured gathering. There's no pre subjects that's already made out because the beautiful thing about this is it is a time when men can get together and talk amongst one another. Is a give and take type session. Every man will give and every man will take, and we learn from one another. It was approximately 10 men, and out of the 10 men, only 3 of the men were Levites, and I was the facilitator. And as a facilitator, it's very important that you don't take over the group, because you have to remember that each man is a pastor in himself. He's a leader. And when you have a bunch of leaders out there, nobody is in charge, because all those men are leaders in their own right, and all of them have something good to say. So it has to be, once the facilitator I had one of the Levites open up in prayer, and from that point on, we opened it up to the floor, and we exchanged ideas. We talked about anything under the sun, and one of the things that I wanted to I threw out there first was that we having problems with our families, because we're losing our families because men are not stepping up and taking charge of our families, because we are the ones that God left in charge of this earth. We were left dominion on this earth, and we are losing control of our children. Those children belong to us, and that's all I said. And from that point on, that's when everyone chimed into what was going on. And it was a good meeting, because we learned so much from one another. The most important thing that you have to remember, that when you have a men's huddle, that it has to be no more than 2 hours. Ours was from 7 to 9. And the timing is very important. If you say 7 o'clock, it has to start at 7 o'clock. It starts at 7 o'clock, or everyone gets in at 7 o'clock. You have your opening prayer from anywhere from 7:10 to 7:15. Open it up in prayer, and you start on in right then and there. And about 10 minutes before, or quarter till 9, that's when you start wrapping it up, because men, the way we think is that, okay, it's going to be from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I can handle that. So we are logical thinkers. We can handle those 2 hours. So if you say it and mean it, and stick it to those 7 to 9. Don't say 7-ish or around about 7. You say 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. That's the beginning time and ending time, and finish it up. And that's how men think, and we can handle it that way. The one thing about it is that we had 10 men, and during that time, I think that was a good number to have, because each man had an opportunity to say his piece. and without being rushed. And each man did say his piece, and it was a good thing, because I think that if you have any number over 12, it would be kind of like a problem, because not every man will be in tune, or every man will get a chance to say his piece comfortably. I think that the number 10 through 12 is the maximum number. Anything over 12 is going to be too many people. So I think that 10 was a good number that we had. We had a number, we had the Levites there, and each of the Levites knew that we allowed the men to, each man to talk and say that there was no leaders in the group. I was the facilitator, and I knew better not to try to, it was no leader. Because you had nothing but leaders out there. Each man is a leader in his own right. And so I think the beautiful thing of it is that there was no leader, because you can't have a leader amongst leaders. The key is that the only authority in the whole thing is God. God was the authority in this group, and every man there knew God, and it had nothing to do with religion, or whether you're a Muslim or anything. You had to know that God was the ultimate. So I think that transcends. God transcends, and He is the ultimate authority of the group. And I think that the men, we all had some of the same things in common, and we all learned from one another. And I think that we need to do that more often, have men huddles, and no more than 2 hours. And I think that will help us all out, because we men don't get together enough and exchange ideas. And the beautiful thing of it is that we had a gentleman there that was from Jamaica, and he shared with us the experience that he had coming to the United States with his wife. Him and his wife moved from Jamaica to the United States, and we were basically talking about head of households, how men are supposed to be the ultimate authority in the head of households, and the women, his wife is supposed to follow him as he follows God, and when he came from a different culture, so to him, that was normal. It was the woman that he married was used to the man taking charge, and she followed her husband. That's how it was. So when he came to the United States, and they were like buying a house or renting a house, and they were deciding something, and he was out there, and the salesperson would ask him, well, what do your wife think? And he said, what do you mean, what my wife think? I'm here. And it was kind of comical, because he didn't understand why in the world everyone was asking, what did you ask your wife, or what did your wife think? Because he's the ultimate authority. He never thought that he would have to ask his wife anything, because his wife was in tune with what he says. So that was an eye-opener to all of us, that we never thought that when you're culturally raised where the man is is the head of household, and the wife is obedient to her husband, that would fall into place. Another example that we had, that she would fall under her husband no matter what, because that's a cultural thing. It's only in the United States where our women think that they are based on that they feel that they're equal to the man, and that's the problem that we have in the United States. They don't have that in foreign countries mostly. And in Jamaica, he didn't experience that. He found that was kind of strange when he came here. Another thing that we realized was that one thing that was brought up was that what if your wife was making more money than you, and then she feels that she's looking down upon you as the husband. And one of the gentlemen there says that, hey, look, my wife knows she makes more money than I was, but she knows that that the money goes into one kitty, and I'm in charge of that one kitty. So he don't have that experience in his household because he had a wife knew the chain of command in his household. So that was an eye opener in our group, that not every household had to worry about what the world has to worry about. So that gave you an idea that all is not lost and all is not going to hell, because there are some positive people out there that knows the chain of command and knows what, and there are some good women out there that are wise material. And so we're not. There are still remnants in that are walking around that we can handle, because we are peculiar people. We're among ourselves, and there are still some of us that we don't have to worry about a lot of things that worldly people have to worry about, and that was a good thing. Because there was no one particular person that was in charge, every man that was there was basically, since they were leaders and head of households, they're used to being in charge. They're the leaders. They're the pastor of their house. They're the lords of their house. So there would be no need to have one person emerge as the leader of the group, because they're all leaders. And so everybody had something to say, and that was the beautiful thing about when men get together. We had a couple of men that were pounding the table and getting their point across, that was very enthusiastic about their point, and if someone was on the outside looking in, they would say, God, this man has lost it. And he's about to fight. He's very angry. No, he's not. It wasn't that. It was just that some of us get frustrated that was an opportunity for us to blow off steam, because when you're in a group of men, sometimes you just need an outlet, and that was a good outlet for each and every man to blow off steam if he wants to blow off steam, and we could all take it, because we didn't have to worry about our tone of voice or anything like that, because we're not emotional people, we're logical. And so when we're talking amongst ourselves, we didn't have to worry about those superficial things, because we're all men and we can handle those kind of things, because that's how men talk amongst one another. We don't wear our feelings and our heart on our sleeves, so to speak. So you can yell, you could do anything. We know that we understand that you need to blow off some steam, and that was a place for you to do that. Blow off some steam and blow off this frustration, and that was a safe zone for you to do that as a man among other men, because we all get to a point where we are frustrated, and we can blow off steam and we can let our hair down, and nobody is going to think lower of us if we do that. That was a safe zone. And that's what's needed, because a lot of times we men don't have an opportunity or a safe zone for us to go to, so we can crown each other's shoulders, we can show frustration, we can blow off steam, and we can ask questions. And the giving and the taking session, we give and take. We give advice to each other, and we take advice from each other. That was the beautiful thing of a men's huddle. Now, when you have a men's ministry and there's a Bible studies, a men's Bible studies class, that's different. But then a huddle is when nobody's in charge. It's not a scripted Bible studies, so to speak. It's and you don't even talk about that. We talk Bible principles. It's kind of hard not to talk Bible principles, especially if God is involved. You got to talk Bible principles because you can't get around the principles of God. Okay, the principles of God you can't get around, and the group of men that are together, head of households, it's very important for us all to exchange ideas, to give each other ideas, because so many men are very complicated, and God made us all different in the world. And what one man's mission is different from another man's mission, but the women and children are different because they are pliable. They have to be conformed to what the man's mission is. Whatever God gave the man mission to do, the woman has to come and conform to the man's mission. The man don't conform to her. The woman conforms to him as he conforms to God. Okay, that's the difference. So I was in a midst of 10 different men with 10 different missions that God gave them. So we were all basically leaders. So there were nobody in charge, because you can't put one leader. We're all on the same level. And that was the beautiful thing about it, is that's the reason why you need only have no more than 10 to 12 people there, so that everybody can exchange different ideas and get their points across, because we all grow. The word was iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. That means that iron sharpens iron. Two metals hitting together will sharpen each other. So there's two leaders getting together, hitting amongst one another, sharpen each other, and we're doing it in a loving way, because we both know that after this session we're both growing, because we both love one another and respect one another, and nobody's in charge, because everybody has the same amount of authority, and we're all pastors and lords of our household. And we do need to get together and exchange ideas. That's what the men's huddle is all about. Like I said, there was no leaders, and it was a beautiful evening. Once the evening was over with, the other Levite closed us out in prayer, and we all departed. Now there were some that was left behind because they want to talk some more. That was a wonderful thing. It's always good when the meeting ends and they're still there. It was so good. Now we set up another meeting for another time in Orangeburg. We'll be meeting in Orangeburg from 7 to 9. I think it'll be on our next meeting will be the Sunday. We're going to have it on Wednesdays in June, the 26th of June, in Orangeburg, South Carolina. If you text or email me and ask me, I'll give you the date. But it's going to be on the 16th, and it'll be at 7 o'clock, 7 to 9, and in downtown Orangeburg. We would love to have you come. It is a gathering of men only, and it's a men's huddle. And we're hoping that we would have at least one or two times a month to do that. It's a good thing. I would love to do that all over. It catches on because it's a good thing for men to do, to gather. And the churches need to get the men's ministries to have men's huddles in their churches for the men's ministries, because that is a good thing, an exchange of ideas. because that's what's needed in us, because we really, really, really need to get us men together, and we realize that we're not in this thing by ourselves. If it's a give and take thing, and it's very good. It was very productive. I grew. I learned a lot, and looking forward to us doing it again. I want to try to get it, have a men's huddle in Columbia, South Carolina. I would like to do that. It'll be, we thought that Wednesdays and Thursdays will be good in the middle of the week, and if we have to do it on the weekends, we'll say that it will be from 9 o'clock in the Saturday morning to 11 o'clock. We have to find a place, but I'll keep you posted on Saturday morning from 9 to 11, or 9 to 11 or 7 to 11. 7 to 11. 7 to 9. 2 hours, 7 to 9. But on a Saturday morning. But I'll keep you posted, because I have to find a venue in which to have it. If there are any churches out there, or any Levites in Columbia that wants to host it, let me know. I'll be more than happy to come. I would love to come and be invited to your hosting of a men's huddle, because that's what's needed. I want you to know that I enjoyed my men's huddle yesterday, learned a lot, and looking forward to another one. I want you to know that I'm still on the battlefield of trying to fight for the souls of our family, and we're doing it one man at a time. We have to do it, and we will win. We are going to win, and the legacy of God is going through us, and He will prevail. Amen. I want you to know I love you. Until the next time, this is Reverend Sylvester Hampton, one man of God, unfiltered. I will see you on the next lesson. Have a good one. My prayers are to you and the family. Amen. Bye-bye.